Does it work? CP, this should sound a lot better. Maybe this would sound even better because now there should be no feedback.
Okay, you. Good day, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm here to the people who have been joining us throughout this postgraduate course that is ending sort of today. But just a reminder, there's still a lot that needs to be done in the course. So if you haven't registered on Are You Connect and you're supposed to do an accredited version of this course, please go register by using the self-enrollment link. Go through week 1, week 2, week 3. I think if I am good at my administration, I've put the registration, the recording links up until week 2. Yeah, this is week 3. So by tomorrow, I'll put on all the recordings for week 3 as well, which is workshop 5 and 6. Just a reminder that the short course had 6 workshops as well as an assessment that you need to submit. So for those who are doing the accredited version, you will be receiving your certificate soon, by soon, not now, not tomorrow. But if you'd like a finished letter that you've finished the course, please communicate with your course coordinators, including the different submission dates and assessments, which will be under all departments. But for anybody else that has been joining us in these workshops, if it's your first time today, do also go and self-enroll to check out the recordings of other previous workshops that we've done. So for the purposes of today's workshop, we are looking at CPGS offerings for 2023, answering the questions of where to from here, and also what can we do for you. Now, if you know a series called Amsterdam, there's a doctor there who always asks, how can I help? So we're here to actually find out how can we help each other. And this thing.
Asipe,
Hi, Sue.
can you come closer to the mic? It's quite hard to hear you online.
Okay. Am I audible now?
I think that's a little bit better.
Okay, okay. So moving along, just before we actually look into some of the offerings that we have, please go online on Mentimeter. I'm trying to remove this so that you guys can see. Okay. Thank you very much, Neil. Please go to www.menti.com. Use the code that is there to tell us yet again who are you. We see a PhD student, honors student, master's student. There's a lot of people in the room. There's also a lot of people online. Please let that reflect on the voting. Who are you? We've got honors students, master students, PhD students. We've got a postdoc as well. Is there anyone struggling to access the website in the room? You have all responded. Great. Is there anyone who's struggling online? Okay. Moving along to a better understanding of what is your biggest worry about your postgraduate studies. And just a reminder that these votes are actually anonymous, so we can't see who's voting. We actually even can't see from which phone or laptop someone is voting from. But please answer the question of what is your biggest worry about your postgraduate studies. And this is for postgraduate scholars as well as postdocs only. So if you are a supervisor, and you are not doing any postgraduate studies, please hit this one. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. I see a lot of you feel like if we can actually get at least 10 more hours per day to have 34 hours, making the commitment to studies and balancing that with my career. As I'm looking at the responses, I'm actually realizing that later on, which is something we're going to speak about, we've got tons of workshop that deals with this, and one particular important one that I would urge all of you to attend is one, the short course on mindfulness, and also there's other workshops on mindfulness which touches on the idea of balancing research with life or with a job and all those things. Not focused enough. Mm. Yeah, working alone is very scary. And as we all know that postgraduate studies can be a very, very lonely journey, but with the necessary support, one can be able to continue with their research with a supportive community, something that we spoke about when we had Kelly with us and Miracle speaking about this idea of procrastination as well as how to deal with such emotions. So please do go to our YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel. I still need to curate it and say, hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. But anyway, we have a YouTube channel where we keep recordings for all the engagements that we've done, not only in 2023, but also for the previous years that the center has existed. So please just, when you get time, go visit the YouTube page, search for the video that you're looking for, and then watch those videos and engage as well. We receive the messages and the emails that come through from YouTube engagement, and we can be able to respond to those questions. Okay. Thank you very much. So the one thing that I would like to know, which is an evaluation, particularly on the things that we've done for the postgraduate course, and also as a reminder that the postgraduate course was not only opened up for the accredited people, the people who are doing it for accreditation from their departments, but it was just like any other workshop that we offer. So please go again. Thank you very much for those who have went to Menti to vote. How helpful were these workshops? One, managing your study, which is the workshop that we had on managing your research as well as your supervisor. The second workshop, procrastination and imposter syndrome. The third workshop, analyzing a journal article. Fourth workshop, database access and the library access. And the fifth workshop, which was ethical issues. To reiterate again, this is very important. If you feel like you want to give us a one, give us a one. Evaluations are very important for us to reflect and look back in terms of what more we can offer and also what is of need for postgraduate students instead of assuming what you need is support. So please go there and vote in terms of how useful did you find the previous workshops that you've done since the 15th of February. Okay. So the postgraduate orientation program, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the course, was actually offered for the very first time this year. So you were lucky to be the first group that started this course, which is now going to be an annual course. And congratulations to you for going through it. I received less questions as we're moving along with the course, but it might be because people were asking other people, or it might be they just refrained from asking. So we want to find out, what can we do better next year? Or what can we include as part of the orientation program next year? Mhm. Okay. So I'm just gonna give this one 3 more minutes because I know people might be typing some essays which will be very important for us. Mhm. Thank you very much for those reflections. We're taking note of this. Keep on including your reflections. We're gonna get a report after this that only shows the reflections, but not names and stuff. This is 100% anonymous. So please make sure that you continue voting. Now, the gist of today's workshop is to discuss what's coming from the Center for Postgraduate Studies at Rhodes University. The one critical point being workshops. So we have more and more weekly workshops that we will be running till October 2023. These workshops will continue in the same, almost the same fashion as what we've been doing with the postgraduate course, where many of them will take place on Wednesdays from 4 till 5:30, and some also on Thursdays. So for some weeks you will get 2 workshops, for others you will get 1. The important thing to note is that many of the workshops are facilitated by facilitators who are, not many, some, who are outside of Rhodes University. So those workshops mostly will be done online on Zoom, as we have been continuing since last year. However, some will still be blended, and the communication of those blended workshops will be done weekly as well, to communicate in which venue a particular workshop will take place in. The other important thing is that these workshops are not going to take place in the same venues as the postgraduate orientation course. It will be different venues when they are blended. For example, next week we have online workshops. So it will be communicated each and every Mondays. You will get those beautiful emails from me. Happy Monday, great scholars. So please open those, because it is communication for that week to let you know what's taking place that week. I'll tell you more about some of the workshops, but the second thing that we are offering at the Center for Postgraduate Studies are short courses. So we have 8 short courses for the year, excuse that typo, and 2 are already running. One, the postgraduate orientation short course, the second one, which is African Feminist Methodologies, that is starting this week, if I'm not mistaken. The important thing to note about the structure of short courses is that they differ. So for example, the postgraduate orientation course was open to all. So you could self-enroll for that one, and it was an easy process. Or for those who don't want to enroll, you can then just pitch in the venue and partake and engage in the workshop. But the other workshops, you need to register. So the link that I usually give out for registration is very important, because many of these short courses have got a cap. So some facilitators will ask for a 50, meaning that they will only take 50 postgraduate students. So there's a cap, and we usually close the registration for those short courses. For example, the African Feminist Methodology course has closed because it's starting this week. And in all other courses, the 7 courses, everyone that is doing the short courses and doing the work receives a certificate. So for those ones, mostly, actually, I think all of them are done online with Zoom sessions on Ario Connect, recordings, as well as assessments, which different facilitators who are experts in different topics that you will see actually facilitate these short courses. These short courses are only for now open to Rhodes University registered postgraduate students, as well as Rhodes University staff members and postdocs. So if you are outside, we've received so many queries about outside people who have attended our workshops, who wanted to find out if they can do the short courses. Unfortunately, and we apologize for this, the short courses are only funded for Rhodes University researchers. However, the workshops you can attend, especially because all of them have got an online link. Writing retreats. So we have 3 writing retreats for the year. I'm going to give you the dates later, but these writing retreats are also in the same fashion as the short courses, where they are only offered to postgraduate students as well as postdocs, and you need to register on time, and it is a first come, first served basis. And I know during the writing retreats, I received so many triggering emails from students asking me what was the criteria of choosing the students. Well, it is a first come, first base, first come, first serve. And secondly, I do the work of tracking down who has attended previous writing retreats, so that you can give a chance to others to attend as well. So when I've received the first 25, I track down who has attended some of the retreats and then replace with a new person so that they can get the opportunities. These writing retreats are fully funded by CPGS and Rhodes University, and they take place at Asehai Trails. So you usually leave for about a week. You come back on Thursday. Your breakfast, lunch, and supper is covered. You just bring extra blankets. It's a good writing space in Asehai Trails. There's no network, so that you get to work and lay off social media. But it is very useful. I've attended, I think, one writing retreat in 2021 2021. Fourth engagement is writing groups. Someone mentioned as you were voting that one key critical thing is not to do your postgraduate alone. And it is very important, especially for master's researchers and PhDs. And these writing groups are one of those academic groups that we actually urge postgraduate students to join. Now, what's going to happen? Since a lot of postgraduate students were registering up until now, there will be communication coming out calling upon, one, the interest of joining a writing group, two, whether you'd like to join the writing group virtually or physically, three, whether you would like to coordinate a writing group or to lead a writing group. These writing groups are crafted and shaped by the people in them. So someone mentioned some social meetings so that postgraduates get to know each other. That can be done in those writing groups, where you decide this particular Saturday we're going hiking, or this particular Monday as a group we're going for coffee or picnic, or we're reviewing someone's paper, etc., etc. So these writing groups are very important for writing and reading from various departments and study fields. So we usually group people based on their study fields, but most importantly on their departments. The fifth thing that we offer is the 3-minute thesis. This is the most greatest opportunity for postgraduate students to showcase their research in just 3 minutes through a video. And now what usually happens is that we host here at Rhodes University the 3-minute thesis competition, which from the postgraduate diploma students up to PhD level can enter. You can find some of the videos on our YouTube channel of the previous 3-minute thesis competition, and also you can track down on social media as well as on the website to see who has won previously at Rhodes University. There are massive prizes for grabs on the 3-minute thesis. I remember it was 2021, there was a laptop as well for number 1. Last year we were just like dishing out moolah, there was vouchers for Pick and Pay for all the winners, and it was 20 of them from here at Rhodes University. Again, the other thing is that we usually send out from the internal 3-minute thesis two representatives to represent us to the national 3-minute thesis competition with other amazing prizes to be won. The sixth engagement is the postgraduate conference. And now this is an opportunity for postgraduate students to present their research. And last year, we did it physically here for 2 days, where we grouped people into sessions, different type of sessions. We had main sessions, and then we grouped them in different types of breakaways where they shared different papers and research. So this one will happen at the beginning of September, and we will issue out a call for abstracts for that one. This is a great opportunity for engagement, especially for people who have already started their research, but also I always say that when people see conference, they usually think I need to present something that's finished or something that I totally understand with no problems. I actually deal with conferences on a different manner. I usually present the parts that I'm struggling with the most so that I can get input from the participants and later on finish my paper or my research. So what's happening in term 1? So in term 1, which is this term, we had these workshops, which were 6 sessions for the postgraduate course, but we also have an upcoming workshop next week on the NRF processes and systems. This one will happen on the 8th of March and it will take place online. So I'm going to send out the registering link for you guys to please register. I think I'll do that on Monday next week. And then the second one is the ERAS application form, which is a workshop that will take you through the ethics clearance application process of Rhodes University. Now, we did this at the beginning of the year so that those who are currently applying for ethics can be able to ask the questions that they're facing, and also we'll get facilitators that will tell you what do the board look for in the ethical applications, and also some of the mistakes that students make when they are actually applying for ethics clearance. If you are already applying for your ethics application, remember, I said there are videos of previous workshops. So please go and check on our YouTube, the video. It will assist you step by step on how to apply for your ethics. The third workshop happening the week after is collecting qualitative data. So in this workshop, we'll be joined by one of the postdocs who will be reflecting on the collection of qualitative data and also reflecting on her fieldwork and some of the things and some of the issues that she faced during this process. The fourth one being gatekeeping letters. Gatekeeping letters which go hand in hand with your ethics application when you're submitting for interviews or fieldwork. So in this workshop, you will then gain insight on what is expected from gatekeeping letters, particularly those who are doing primary data collection. And then the last one for term one is analyzing qualitative data. Now that you have your data, how do you go about analyzing that data, and what are some of the tools that you can make use of in analyzing qualitative data? After that, we go on recess, and then coming back from recess, we have applying for a grant or a scholarship, which is a workshop that will take you through on how to apply for grants or scholarships such as NRF or traveling grants, and what are some of the things that are needed and what are some of the things that the funders look for in your applications. Managing your well-being, something that I mentioned earlier, mental health and wellness, the art of balancing your health, research, work, and life. So this workshop will touch on that. And then the other workshop that we have is formatting with LaTeX or JabRef, which is a system, sorry for that typo, which is a systematic workshop that will be done, a hands-on workshop, where it will be done in a computer lab for especially, I think, the people who are doing stats or work with stats. And then the other workshop will be literature review, how to do a literature review. And I know that people who are starting out research in honors and master's level, some of the key issues that they face when it comes to literature review is not understanding the expectation and end up writing a literature review as if they are writing an assignment. And it is bigger than that. Reviewing literature is the critical part of your research and also the critical part of the secondary data that you make use of in your research. The other workshop being plagiarism and Turnitin in, NRF application system and NRF rating, deductive qualitative research procedure, reflexivity and quality, as well as teaching portfolios. Now, as you can see that these workshops have been done in a way that it supports not only postgraduate students, but also academics as well, and particularly postdocs. So please check which workshop will work for you and register and attend. For term 3, we have responsive research, very important research for the public good, which will take place particularly on the week of the celebration of Nelson Mandela, as well as using Jamovi, GPI Qualitative Systematic Review, Experimental Design Part 1 and Part 2, which will take place the day Wednesday and Thursday. Abstract writing and conference presentation, very important to attend that workshop, as it will touch on the structure of abstract writing and how one can do conference presentation in preparation for the conference that we'll be having as well, and also any other conferences that you will be attending as a postgraduate student or as an academic. So term 1, we have lessons from ECRs being early career researchers. Last year we had a massive conversation with a great panel of early career researchers, some doing their PhDs, through publications, others who have just entered the academic space, really speaking raw data on how they're managing the academic space and the lessons they've learned throughout their research journey. Discourse analysis, which is one of the key workshops presented by Professor Chrissy Bowie, understanding how knowledge works, coping with feedback, which is something we touched on one of our workshops when we were speaking about procrastination, and careers and innovation, Google Scholar and ORCID, social media do's and don'ts, and the nature of knowledge, as well as the last one for the term being DHET research accreditation. Now, these are the short courses that we have for the year, and these are the dates which may change based on the supervisor's availability, but in most times it's always these dates. So the orientation program, which ends today, which ended yesterday when it comes to the course content, and the African Feminist Methodologies, which has started yesterday, ending on the 22nd of March. And the other one that's coming is the disseminating knowledge through publication. Now that one is not closed yet, but the marketing of it has went out. So please check your emails to see the link for you to register for the disseminating knowledge through publication short course. Sorry. And then one that many academics have been asking me about is the strengthening postgraduate supervision course. These are the dates that we have on the board from the 2nd to the 31st of May. Introduction to R, Advanced R, and the Introduction to Mindfulness, which is coordinated by one of our associates who is outside of the country. Writing retreats, these are the dates. Now, very important to note, you should not send me an email to say, please keep a spot for me for the 11th of September or for June. As I've mentioned, these writing retreats are advertised fairly, and this one will be advertised in May, the first one, which will be from the 5th to the 8th of June. And as soon as you see the advertisement, please sign up. What we usually do, or what we've done last year, is that we also sort of utilize the same list that we received, because there was one point where we received 100 and something applicants, and due to limited funds, we could only offer space for 25. So we kept that list, and we actually did not advertise one of the workshops, and we took from that list for people to attend. So do make sure that you sign up. The other important thing to mention about the writing retreats is that we usually send out 2 critical readers to the Field with You, to the writing retreat, who stay with you throughout those days. Very important to utilize them as you are struggling with your research, or to think through something with them in that space. So you don't only write in that space, to make an image of what happens there. So you wake up in the morning, breakfast, after breakfast, there are certain groups which sit in for what we call Pomodoros, which are writing intervals of 25 minutes, where you write as a group, you work on your research, and someone else works on their research. For 25 minutes, you take 5-minute break, and then you take big breaks in between, with some people preferring to work in their rooms, where you get the space to work on your research outside of the outside noise that you would usually face. The other important thing to mention is that the funding to attend the writing retreats, especially for the people who are online, is only from Rhodes University Yard to Asehai, and from Asehai to Rhodes University. So that means we don't pay for flights for people who are coming from other towns. You just make sure you get yourself to Rhodes University by 9 a.m. on a Monday of the writing retreat, and travel from Rhodes University. That is what we mean by a fully funded writing retreat. So people usually bring out their snacks, because there are no snacks provided, extra blankets, and we always urge people to print out the papers that they will be utilizing. The other thing that we offer, which are writing groups, these are groups, as I mentioned, of postgraduates who meet in various places, usually in the tutorial room in the library or online on Zoom. So what I've done for the people who usually choose to facilitate their reading circle online, I usually create Zoom links for them, which is a recurring link for them from when they start up until the end of the year, and then so that they are able to utilize that link. It has been going smoothly without any issues, and you have beautiful reflections for the people, from the people who started the writing groups. And one other writing group that I've been coordinating is the intersectionality writing group, where we met each and every Wednesdays last year to discuss theories, articles, books on intersectionality, and how we are actually utilizing intersectionality in our research. So this is the writing group I started because I am doing an intersectionality study in my PhD. So it's one of the reading and writing groups. Now that you've heard about what CPGS has to offer in 2023, what is missing that you would like us to add from the programs that you are offering? Please write your suggestions, as well as any other collaborations that you're thinking of to collaborate with us in offering these engagements and support. I wish we can have monthly writing retreats, to be honest, so we can all have a chance to attend. But as mentioned, funding becomes a cap for that. But I'm just wondering if we can actually create writing retreats within campus, because one of the barriers in making research progress is time, where we actually meet up, we book a venue, we meet up for the whole entire week. We try and see if we can bring coffee in and bring shared lunch, and we write for the whole week. We take upon the same structure of the Asakakhai writing retreat here at Rhodes University, where we write, because the important thing about the writing retreats is, one, to be outside of the noise, a classroom, you are outside of the noise, and two, to get support from other people who are doing postgraduate research. But it's something to think about. Coffee lunch on campus retreat is a good idea. Topics to create more coherent program. Okay. Okay. So please keep those coming. So what we usually do is more natural sciences topic, yes. So what we usually do is that we usually print out a yearly calendar of all our activities, workshops, dates, and facilitation. But one of the things we realize is that it creates a confusion when now we need to move workshops because a facilitator is unable to make it for unforeseen circumstances, or there's a difference in who is now facilitating the program. So we decided to keep it the way that it is now, where we just communicate what's coming and ensure that we communicate every week. And I know for some people that communication gets too annoying, but for other people, they're very grateful to be reminded each and every week, and inclusive of that day in terms of what's going to happen. But we'll try and work on that in terms of clustering the offered topics to create a coherent program. Thank you very much. Statistical analysis workshops using tools like SPSS and Stata. Thank you very much. I actually have a colleague that emailed me about that, who wanted to offer a workshop on that. So we're going to find space in the calendar for it and definitely offer it. Thank you for that. Okay, that is beautiful. Making opportunities for students to share their research, more methods workshop, more workshop for natural in life. Okay, no, thank you very much. Postgrad support groups, supervisors to come and share experiences with us. Yes. More check-in or assistance sessions for students to share and build up their research. Yes. Thank you very much for that. The other thing that we want to know is, what questions do you have for us? So these questions will come up here so that we are able to respond to them. But what questions do you have for us? It could also be follow-up questions from what you were suggesting as well, just to find out anything from the supervision. You can post them here. I have Sue McKenna online. She can respond to some, I can respond to some, and also we can just capture the questions and send out a entire communication to everyone else as a frequently asked questions title for everyone to engage on email. So do you have any questions for us? Post there.
While we're waiting, a CPAP, I just want to say, I know that as you move on from one slide, we could no longer, so we will send this out to people to be able to add. So if you had a comment on the slide and you didn't get a chance to read it, you will get a chance.
Can you just repeat that?
Sorry? What did you say, Neil? What did you say? Neil? I didn't hear what you said.
So you were breaking up. Could you maybe repeat what you said, please? Sorry, we couldn't hear you in the venue.
Yes. So what I was saying is that I know that as a CPA has moved from slide to slide, you couldn't go back and add comments on previous slides. So we will send this presentation out. So if you had some comments to make, for example, evaluating the workshops we've had so far, or whatever you want to add, you will get a chance after the fact. I know some people were just saying they've typed something up and then as they were about to hit send, we'd move to the next slide. So don't worry, you will still get a chance. And Neil, I see there are now 3 questions waiting for us. Asipe, should I take these questions? Do you want to take them?
Hi, Sue. So Neil is trying to get your question or your comment because it was not audible on the venue. But in the meantime, you can also please assist us with typing it so that I can repeat it for the people in the room. So one of the questions says, passing the short course requires attendance of at least 4 out of 6 sessions. What happens to those who recently enrolled and did not get a chance to attend previous sessions? So we'll respond to that as well. But we've received requests from coordinators. So those are the people that send out your list and are coordinating the departmental page under the postgraduate short course. So once that happens to you, please email them and they'll email that to us, because what we're waiting from them is a full list of the students that have participated. So they need to check the registers, they need to check who had registered late, and they need to check the participation on forum posts as well as on the main thing, the assessment. So they will then communicate with us such issues of those who attended, those who registered late. And remember, there's still a way to engage with the work because we do have Audio Connect with recordings, so you can go and watch those And also, because you've joined before the assessment, submit the assessment. But please communicate through your coordinator so that we are able to engage things on a case-by-case basis. The other question says, why is there only one topic per week? I think it's important topic as in workshop, I guess, but I think it's important to mention again that at CPGS, there's only like 3 people that are working in that center, and the director, myself, as well as the administrator. So having 1 or 2 topics, you can't imagine the administrative work that it takes to pull up a workshop, just 1 workshop. And also the space to ensure that we also provide more and more other engagements, such as writing groups, the coordination of it, writing retreats, as well as any other work that that office does. So the least we can do is to actually do 2 workshops, but because there are other workshop requirements from other academics who would like to run, such as the statistics workshop, we're gonna have some workshops on a Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and see if that works. And time as well, because as much as you need to attend the workshops, you also need to write, and some of you attend classes. So there's also that clash, including those who are when we are doing physical workshops, the issue with venue booking, and also facilitators that are available to facilitate workshops, because they are also academics who are supervising, who are teaching in other fields. So those are some of the issues why we have 1 workshop a week, or 2 actually. And the good news for 2023 is that I think it's only few weeks where we only have 1. There's actually 2 each and every week. Next week there's gonna be 2, the week after there's gonna be 2, 2, and 2, and 2. So at least we've grown the number of workshops. Are there teaching assistant opportunities for masters and PhD students? I'm not sure if you're asking at the center, but I believe there are opportunities in different departments based on their needs and based on their staffing for research assistant and teaching assistants, tutorial, tutor assistants, etc. So please, those are advertised on top list, and also they are advertised on departments. Email your HODs and find out if there are any opportunities in your respective departments. Any opportunity that is communicated to us, directly or indirectly, we usually send it out on the CPGS mailing list, something that you need to be part of. To be part of the CPGS mailing list, email cpgs@ru.ac.za, cc me a.mxa@ru.ac.za, so that we can add you to our mailing list to see conference opportunities, information opportunities, as well as teaching assistant opportunities when they arise. If you signed up for the knowledge dissemination through publication short course recently advertised, how and when do we know if we got in or not? So you sign up via Google Form, and that Google Form produces a list on Excel, which the facilitator will get a hold of. So the facilitator for this short course will then communicate with everyone that is signed up for the dissemination and knowledge dissemination course. If the course is not yet closed, you are already in. So once the course is closed, that's when you know. It will actually give you a message as you are trying to register that the course is full. So if you have registered for this course, just wait for communication from the facilitator of the course or the lecturer of the course, who will communicate anything moving forward. Usually that communication doesn't include me. It is communication that comes from the facilitator to let you know when classes are starting, where to go for RU Connect page, as well as the assessments that are expected from for you to pass the course. What we will receive in CPGS is a list of everyone that has completed the course. So it's safe to say if you have signed up for the course, what not, the facilitator will be in communication with you, especially if you meet the minimum requirements of NQF level and the fact that you are registered at Rhodes as well. Yeah, I think those are some of the questions. Where and how do we get information regarding the courses and workshops? So if you'd like to get something to print out or to keep in your computer, you can email me to give you the full schedule. But that also gives you a responsibility to check each and every week if there's anything that has changed. The safest way where you get the information regarding the courses is via the communication that we usually send out each and every Mondays on what's coming up. When it comes to what the course covers, you can then email me to ask what is the particular course about so that I can give you a blurb about that course for you to prepare. If there's anything you need to prepare before attending a course or a workshop, those things are usually communicated on the sign-up sheet. So as you sign up on the Google form, it tells you what is expected from the student, what time is expected for you to spend on that short course or the classes of that short course, so that you sign up for something that you already know you're gonna see it through. So if there's something that you don't understand, please do not hesitate to email me a.mkhalisa@ru.ac.za. Alternatively, you can search my full name as it appears on emails. Usually when you put my name there, it will show you any other emails I've sent, and that's where you can actually get my email address to ask any question that I can answer or Suma I can answer. I see we have no other questions. People online, is there someone that wants to say something before we reach the end? Okay, just one last thing. Please follow us on social media. We are visible on Facebook. We are visible on Instagram. Unfortunately, we don't have giveaways as any other Instagram account, but we communicate also what's coming up on workshops and any other opportunities. We have a Twitter account as well. We have a YouTube account as well. Please follow us. And if you have any suggestions on how to run those, actually, please come through with those suggestions. Thank you very much for joining us today. And also a huge thank you to the coordinators from different departments who have been working with us in this postgraduate course, and also to everyone that has attended and engaged. We hope to see all of you. Have seen familiar faces throughout the course, and we hope to see you in any other engagements that we will be having. Do take these engagements and research opportunities seriously, as they are great to support your research journey. If you can't attend a workshop, make it a point to email me so that I can send you a recording on Zoom for you to download. But know that I'm actually going to put it on YouTube, that recording for you to engage. Any other questions you have, our offices are always open and our emails are always responded to sometimes. So do make sure that you ask for any clarity. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.